Hey everybody, it's Alex. First off, I'd just like to apologize for keeping you guys in the dark for so long. I did post 2 videos with photos in them, but I haven't really posted anything with my face. But I do have a few things to talk about. So 2 weekends ago I went to Puerto Viejo, which is a really not really touristy, but kind of touristy place on the Caribbean side of Costa Rica. It was pretty awesome. They have a really great nightlife. While there wasn't a ton to do, it was a really cool place, and I would definitely retire there. And the food was amazing. They cook most of their food in coconut oil. My favorite thing was gallo pinto, which is like black beans and rice, if you've never heard of it, and it was awesome. But last weekend I went to Tamarindo, which is a more touristy, a little bit bigger of a town on the Pacific side, which is cool because it's the first time I've ever actually been in the Pacific Ocean. It was just salt water. It was pretty much the same. The waves were bigger. We went surfing and body surfing, and someone lost their GoPro, which sucks a lot, but it was very touristy. The only problem I kind of had with it was that it was a little too touristy. I went out for pizza with a friend, and we were speaking Spanish because there was a ton of gringos there, and I'm gringo and he's gringo, whatever, we're white people, but there's a difference between being in Costa Rica for a week and being in Costa Rica for months on end and actually living here with a Tico family. So I would say we're definitely less gringo, but gringos nonetheless. But Tamarindo, the beaches were amazing and we had a great time, a lot of laughs, good experience altogether, I guess. Luckily, last weekend after Tamarindo, we had Monday off for Columbus Day, but they don't really do Columbus Day anymore. It's like Races Day, celebration of indigenous peoples and culture and things like that, which I think is awesome because Columbus didn't do anything beneficial for anyone ever. But after Tamarindo, we went to Irasu, which is a volcano, and it was 1,100 feet up above sea level, and it was around 50 degrees, I think, so I was shivering the entire time. But with that altitude, I guess I was kind of prepared. I did have a jacket, but it was still really cold. I got some awesome pictures, and after we visited the volcano, on our way down, we went to it was kind of like a park, but it has an old abandoned hospital that was for patients with tuberculosis and leprosy. It was run by nuns, and there was like a doctor's house there as well. It was way far up in the mountains because it was better for the people that had tuberculosis to breathe, I guess. But it was really haunted feeling. It was kind of uncomfortable the whole time. I actually went into one of the rooms. It was the operating room, and I could only snap one picture before it was too uncomfortable, and I had to leave because, like, you know that someone died there. A lot of people lived and there was a lot of good surgeries and everything, but there's always at least a death in an operating room, and with people with leprosy and tuberculosis and having to go way up there, you know they wouldn't have been in such a great condition. So there was probably ghosts there. I might have even got one on film, I don't know. On a less creepy note, I would like to say hi to my friends and let them know that I'm doing great, and if they really need anything, you guys can definitely call me, text me, FaceTime me, whatever. I might be in class, I might be out of range of Wi-Fi, I might be home, whatever. If you need me, I'm still here even though I'm 3,000 miles away. I know I wouldn't be doing great if I was still in Michigan at this point. For a long time I've been getting like worse and worse, kind of dealing with things that have been bothering me for a really long time, and getting away from it all and experiencing something new has really kind of opened my eyes and changed what I think and what I perceive the United States to be. But I really do want you guys to call me anyway, even if you don't have problems, because it's nice to see your face. I really miss you guys, so like, call me, please. On that note, I really do kind of want to talk about the positives and kind of like a little bit of the negative side of Costa Rica, actually living here, being here for more than 2 weeks, not on vacation, is a really crazy kind of experience. I thought a few of you might like to experience that through me and kind of see what it's like if you've never left the country, or I know some people have never left the state, some people probably have never left their hometown. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what it's like to actually live here instead of just staying on a beach resort for a week and then going back home to the same old with the sunburn and everything. So I live in the middle of the city, which is really nice because there's a lot of things to go see, and it's really easy to get places because you can walk pretty much anywhere, and if you want to hail a taxi, it takes maybe 20 seconds and you have one there and you're halfway to your destination. But also, my roommates and I are still trying to figure out how the shower works completely. I know, like, if you go to a hotel or you go to a friend's house and you try to shower there, it might take you a few seconds to figure out how the shower works. But here, it's a little bit different. So they don't have water heaters in the house. They just don't make that kind of investment here. Instead, they buy a shower head that has like wires going to it, and it has like I'm guessing it has a heating coil inside of it, so the water goes by the heating coil and warms up before it comes out of the shower head and you take a shower. But there's also a switch on the side of the shower, so it's usually switched down and you just turn on the water and it should come out warm. Well, ours is kind of like has electrical tape on it and hasn't really been working. You know how when you take a cold shower and you purposely make it cold, it's freezing? That's been every shower I've had here so far, other than the ones at a few hotels which were lukewarm. But one time I did go into the shower. Before I turned it on, it wasn't wet or anything, and I just kind of like stood on a little step stool, went up there and kind of tried to see if everything was connected, and I accidentally touched one of the wires with my wrist, and in between the tape there was some frayed like open wire sitting there. Yeah, I got electrocuted for like 3 seconds. That was great. I almost fell off the stool. It was a great time, but yeah, I haven't touched it since and I'm still taking cold showers. So if you want to send a package of hot water to me, that'd be awesome. Also, we don't have an address. If you want to find someone's house, they just give you kind of a general area and give you, it's more or less directions. So my house is like 100 meters north and 50 meters east of a elementary school, and that's literally our address. So those are kind of negative things. Positive things, the beaches are awesome. It takes a few hours to get to the beaches, but it also only takes like $5 on the bus to get all the way there. Hotels can be cheap, it depends on where you go. Obviously, if you want 5 stars, you're gonna pay more. If you want 3 stars and hot water, you're gonna pay a little bit less. If you want to stay in a hostel, you can do that, and it's like $12 a night maybe. People are amazing, the food is great. I am learning more Spanish. Speaking English is starting to be a little bit weird. Nightlife is fun, all kinds of things. I've met a bunch of people that I really get along with because I think it takes a certain kind of mentality or personality to come down here and do something like this, to move to another country and live with a family that doesn't speak English. It takes a certain kind of person, and because we are all that kind of person, we really do get along well. So I mean, the people I hang out with are really cool, which is awesome. I've sort of been thinking in the last few days or so, maybe half a week, about coming back to the US. I don't want to do it. I knew it would kind of happen, but I didn't really know why I wouldn't want to come back to the United States. I'm just really not looking forward to that because I don't know. It's just, it makes me nervous, I guess. So there's this thing called reverse culture shock, which is, well, I guess I'll give you the definition of culture shock. Culture shock is when you go to another country or you go somewhere where nothing's the same as back home, and it's an unsettling, uncomfortable, gives you anxiety kind of feeling. You feel out of place and you miss home, blah blah. I haven't felt that, and I'm lucky to not have felt that. I've been open to the experience of culture shock. It just hasn't really set in. It might set in a week, it might set in tomorrow, I don't really know, but so far I haven't really felt it. But reverse culture shock is gonna be really rough. Coming back to the cold, coming back to winter, coming back to snow. I'm gonna be tan, which is gonna be great. I'm gonna be fluent in Spanish, which is better than being tan. It's gonna be Christmas, so that'll be nice to see all my family like right away and not have to go out of my way to go see them and visit them and everything when I come back. Coming back to the cold, the winter, the same old, and most of all returning to things that I had to deal with and got accustomed to just because I didn't really have the option of getting out of that situation. I mean, this could really apply to anything all the way up to like road rage. I don't drive here. I don't have to worry about it. It takes me 5 minutes to walk somewhere. I can take a taxi, no big deal. Back home, not the same. To put it kind of in perspective, for those of you that have went away to college, the week before you moved out, I'm sure you kind of noticed things and kind of felt a little more uncomfortable. You might have thought it was because you were nervous to go to college or because you were anxious, but really it's little things that bother you that you really just have to deal with because you're living with your family and you have no other options. You don't have anywhere to go, you don't have anything to do about it. Those things that last week at home really start bothering you because you know really soon that that's no longer going to be an issue. So here, the things back in the United States that bother me will be even worse because I felt something different on an international scale. So imagine going away to college and everything that your parents do annoys you, everything that your siblings do annoy you, and you never want to move back with them after you get away, blah blah blah. Well, I never want to move back to the United States because all the things that annoy me there. I cannot wait to see my friends again. I cannot wait to see my family again. Can't wait to kind of be able to work again and like have money just to spend because I'm working, but I just it's nothing specific. That's the problem. I'm not going to find out until I get there what really bothers me, but I don't know. It's going to be rough. It's going to be really rough. On a lighter note, next weekend I'm going to Panama for 3 days. So two of my friends down here came up to me after class one day and they were like, hey, do you want to go to Panama, blah blah blah, and I was like, I don't really know, sure, maybe, I gotta kind of see what my schedule is, but they told me the date and I said, okay, sure, let's do it. Before I checked out what it was, before I looked at any details of the trip, I went ahead and paid for it. After that, I found out that we were going to an island, so basically it's a big party island, Costa, which is like Bull's Mouth. It doesn't really make sense in English, but it's going to be really fun, and I heard that a lot of the souvenir stuff is cheap. If you are my friend or family back home, you might end up getting something from Panama instead of Costa Rica, but really it's kind of the same stuff. But I'm really glad it's going to be something that I'll enjoy, and that I didn't just blindly pay for something that I'm not going to have fun doing. I'm going to bring my camera, obviously, so I'll have photography, I'll probably do some videos, probably end up taking a few new profile pictures for people that I go with. But it's going to be really fun because it's our first trip away, well, my first trip away from our program, not going with our program coordinator and not going on a bus full of just the people in my program. It's kind of whoever we want to go with. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate the support. I'm doing great down here, but I know that if I wasn't doing great that you guys would be able to help me out with whatever I needed, and that's really a good feeling to have, knowing that there's someone there for you, so I really appreciate it. If you like this video and you want to keep up with me and see more videos, go ahead and subscribe down below. You can comment if you want me to do something specific for the next video or any other topics or things about Costa Rica that you want to know. Peace out.